Hey there, welcome back to the Center for Spiritual Living Bellingham. And I'm back from my wilderness adventure and the snowy deeps of Snoqualmie Pass. Grateful to have you here joining us today on this very first Sunday of 2021. And grateful for Amber and our practitioner who are going to lead us now in inspiration. Take it away, Amber.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Sing it with me. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, good morning, everybody, or whenever you're tuning in. We're so glad you're here. If you're out there on social media, give a shout out to some of your spiritual community members and say hello. It's always nice to see who's out there tuning in. Happy New Year to everyone. Let's sing into this day with My Soul is Welcome Here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Are you clapping along? I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 Well, to welcome us in further, we have our practitioner of the day.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Happy New Year. My name is Philip Flores. I'm a practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living. And please join me for this opening invocation. So this I know is true, that there is only one infinite mind, one divine energy, one love, one light, and it is God, it is Spirit, it is one, and it is here and now and always. And I am connected to this divine presence, and let it operate through me, with me, in me, and as me. And as I welcome the presence of Spirit this morning, and look forward to Dr. Andrea's talk on what will I give myself to, I give myself to joy, to peace, to prosperity, to discovery, to energy, and to love, right here and right now. I'm so grateful and thankful for this community, so grateful and thankful for having you join us this morning, and know that all is well, and so it is.
Thank you, Philip. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. Let's sing that again. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. My heart is open, I am awake. My heart is open, I am awake. There is knowing of love, love, love. My heart is open, I am awake. There is knowing of love, love, love. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. My heart is open. My heart is open, I am awake. There is knowing of love, love, love. My heart is open, I am awake. There is knowing my center, from the center of me. Walk down to the preacher's slough, wash away these burdens, come anew today. Today. Gonna walk down to the preacher's slough, take my head and my heart, hope to break through today. Today. Through the muck and the mess and all the rest, I'm ready for change. I'm gonna walk down to the preacher's slough, wash away these burdens and come anew today. Today. I'm gonna walk down to the preacher's slough, take my head and my heart, hope to break through today. Today. Through the muck and the mess and all the rest, oh, I'm ready for the change, it's coming next. I'm gonna walk down to the preacher's slough, gonna baptize my body, that's what I'll do today. Today. I'm gonna walk down to the preacher's slough, looking for my soul and another view today. Today. Through the muck and the mess and all the rest, oh, I'm ready for the change, it's coming next. Hey! And there's nothing left to hold. Give it away, let it go. There's another story to be told. Let the deepest sound ring out. I'm gonna walk down to the preacher's slough. Won't you join me there with your family too today? Today. I'm gonna walk down to the preacher's slough, look each other in the eye, say something new today. Today. Through the muck and the mess and all the rest, oh, we're ready for the change, it's coming next. Hey! And there's nothing left to hold. Give it away, let it go, let it go. Yeah, there's nothing left to hold, nothing left to hold. Give it away, let it go. There's another story to be told. There's nothing left to hold, there's nothing left to hold. Give it away, let it go. Give it away, let it go. There's another story to be told. Sing it out. Let the deepest sound ring out. Ring out. Let it ring out.
Thank you, Amber. That was great. And thank you, Philip. What a wonderful invocation. And here we are. And the question, the very first question, the very first topic in this new year is based on our theme for the month, which is what I can see from here. And the question that Philip raised in his invocation is what we're working with today. What will I give myself to? And it comes from a quote by that amazing teacher, Parker Palmer. If you haven't discovered Parker Palmer, look him up. He's amazing. The quote goes like this: I no longer ask, what do I want to let go of, and what do I want to hang on to? Instead, I ask, what do I want to let go of, and what do I want to give myself to? The desire to hang on comes from a sense of scarcity and fear, and the desire to give myself comes from a place of abundance and generosity. And that's the question that I'm asking you today, is what do you want to give yourself to in this year? For many of us, this time of year from 2020 to now has been a time of reflection. Some of us have been releasing, sometimes for months, releasing things, letting things go. And the question comes, well, what do I want to give myself to in this year? And, you know, I had this whole talk set up about the law of circulation. I'm going to talk about it. But then something happened that took me on a whole different path. And what happened was seed catalogs started arriving. And I don't even garden, but I love getting seed catalogs, don't you? Because they're just like dream things in here, things that I've never heard of, and varieties of pumpkins that I'd love to grow, but I don't grow anything. And the seed catalog set me on this thinking about what do I want to give myself to in a different way. And it reminded me of something that happened to me a couple years ago. Joe and I were married in October. And so a number of years ago, we decided to take a trip. And we decided to go to some place that all of our friends had talked about for years, and we had never been there. And it's a place maybe you've been to called Brighton Bush. And yes, I know that Brighton Bush suffered a terrible fire this last season, and they're making a wonderful recovery and could use our support in every way. At that time, Brighton Bush was intact. We were staying in one of their cabins that was slowly sinking into the ground. So the bed was literally kind of like this. And it's famous for its hot springs. And so they have all different kinds of hot pools that you can go into, and steam cabins where they've channeled the hot springs into steam. And it was an amazing place just in and of itself. But we happened to be there. We were just there renting a cabin, and it includes your food. So you go into the main lodge, and we happened to be there when this whole workshop was going on for all these other people. And they invited us to join them. And the workshop was on permaculture. And at that point, I had heard a little bit about permaculture, but I really didn't know anything about it. But we decided to join the workshop for a session or two because we were invited. And, you know, so we go in, and it was fascinating. It's a fascinating thing. And what fascinated me as a spiritual person was the application of permaculture principles to the mind and the spirit and designing a life. Because the purpose of permaculture, as Starhawk, who was the leader that day, put it, is, I wrote it down because it was such a powerful thing. The deep underlying intention of permaculture is the art of designing beneficial relationships. Well, who doesn't want that, right? Especially moving into this year with all that we've experienced in 2020. For me, the understanding of the law of circulation and the art of beneficial relationships all kind of merged with that seed catalog arriving. And I realized I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the principles that I learned in that workshop as they apply to the spiritual path. Not a lot. You'll have to study permaculture to really get the full deal. But one of the primary design features of permaculture is to understand that we can live in concentric circles of expression. And when we're talking about gardening or farming or agriculture of any sort, the concentric circles have to do with zones of use. So zone 1 is perhaps right near the back door of your farmhouse where you have an herb garden because you use fresh herbs all the time. And maybe you have a garden patch where you're growing the things that you use on a daily basis for cooking. Zone 2 would be the next circle out, and on it goes, out and out and out. Well, the same thing applies to spiritual living as well, that we have the ability to understand that we're living in concentric circles of influence, and the primary circle is with ourselves and how we work with ourselves. So in understanding what do I want to give myself to, that question goes to the heart of the first circle of our expression, which is the opportunity either to choose to live from scarcity and fear, or to choose to live from abundance and generosity. Now that seems like an easy choice, but what we've seen in the last year or so is that when catastrophe happens, when pandemics happen, when difficult situations occur that throw us back onto our basic nature, sometimes the habitual energies that run the show way below, that we can easily kind of ignore when things are going well, begin to run the show in a more overt fashion. And so for those of us who were raised in situations that created a great deal of anxiety and fear, our base nature, our habitual nature, can often revert to moving in the world with a lot of anxiety and fear. And out of anxiety and fear, we can begin to believe that there is scarcity. I'll just say 2 words about that, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Toilet paper. Remember? Toilet paper was such a great example of this anxiety to be able to have what we need when we need it forever, And it's no judgment on my part how people move in the world, because I have my own deep-seated habitual energies that drive the show when I'm put back onto my base nature in times of stress and anxiety. Apparently, one of my habitual things is whining. Oh well, I'm working on it, and I'm sure you are too. The one wonderful thing is that we are at choice in this first circle of ours of expression. We are at choice right now on January 3rd, 2021, to choose a different way. And instead of hanging on because of fear and anxiety, we can choose, what do I want to give myself to? How do I want to give myself in this world, in this time, to myself first, in my circle of influence that is the closest to me? What do I want to give myself to? And it's an entirely different energy, as Parker Palmer notes. That comes from a place of sufficiency, of abundance, of generosity. You're giving to rather than fearing and holding on to. So for me, what this goes to the heart of is what I was going to speak about originally, and that was the law of circulation. And I'm sure you've heard about this law, but in case you're joining us for the first time, let me just briefly tell you about it. There's an understanding in spiritual circles of all sorts, not just the science of mind philosophy, that there is, that the way the world works, I shall say, is energetically. That energy is constantly moving. And of course, if you've studied physics, you know this is the case. And that energy that continues to move and circulate tends to move and circulate other energy. And energy that has come to a lull or a stop has a great deal of difficulty getting moving again. There's an inertia factor. And so the law of circulation in spiritual terms is really understanding that we are energetic beings and that we have the ability to move our energy in ways that are gifts to ourselves and to other people. We have the opportunity to move that which we have in the world so that we create this vast cycle of energy going out and energy coming in. And one of the things that I learned early on is that what I give out always comes back to me, but it doesn't necessarily come back in the way I expect or from the people I expect it to come from. but it will come back because there's this cycle, this circle of energy that's always flowing. So when I ask myself the question, what do I want to give myself to? What I'm really asking is, how do I want to move my energy in terms of the love I have, the money I have, the capacity I have to serve, my ability to work, in all the different areas of my expression, what do I want to give myself to? Where is it that I see out of the abundance of my own life, I can give out into the world and, set that circle in motion once again? Now, a lot of people object to the teachings of the law of circulation because they think that, and it's true, that many teachers have taught it as a way to get more money. And I'm not teaching it from that perspective, although that certainly will work. You tithe, and you will receive back. However, what I've learned about tithing is that it doesn't necessarily come in the form of money. So if you're thinking that this is somehow some sort of like you put it out and it's going to come back directly in the same way, I've never experienced it really working in quite that way. But what I'm speaking about is that as we gift out into the world, we are gifted in so many ways that we can't even predict. And so what I give myself to energetically always is something that for me is an idea or a person or an organization or a work that I value and that I find valuable back at me. So it's a reciprocal thing. And as I gift into that, what I am doing is I'm expanding the reach of whatever I'm investing my energy in. So I happen to have a thing about wanting to support nonprofit organizations like the one that I work for, so that they can do their good work in bringing what they do out into the world more effectively without feeling pinched money-wise or creativity-wise or in any way. And so I know that as I gift to them my tithes, that I'm supporting an idea as much as I am an organization. The same is true as when I tithe to a monk or a nun who could really use the support of my energetic money. That allows them to bring the teachings of what they know into the world, not just to me. In fact, sometimes I never even hear what they have to say, but to the world at large. So the law of circulation has to do with supporting energy moving in the world that we want to see the world have. And certainly at this time, at the beginning of this year, I'm pretty clear on what I want to give myself to in that regard. I want to give myself to things that support people in their right to choose, in their ability to live freely. I want to support organizations that lift people and inspire people. I want to give my energy and my work to things that help people grow and develop and live successful lives that are full of beauty and joy and love and peace. So it goes on and on like that. So Parker Palmer's question of what do I want to give myself to is a really powerful question to think about. And I invite you to really contemplate that, not just hear it from me. But back to the permaculture for a moment. One of the most important things that we understand in that tradition is the importance of starting where you are and building from where you are. And so in terms of agriculture or gardening, you start with whatever let's say you have a yard and it's fairly undeveloped. And some people would hire someone to come in and just completely take out everything and restart. But permaculture asks first that we observe what's there already, how the land is, and then to start from that place to contemplate the energy of the land and to bring in things slowly so that the land has the opportunity to work with whatever we're bringing. In spiritual terms, one of the things that Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind, used to say, he actually has it in several of his books, is that the frustrating part for him is that he really knew the permaculture principle, which came long after his teachings, that you have to start where you are. And what he saw is that people didn't want to start from where they were. They wanted to be somewhere else and have that somewhere else be where they started. And you can't do that. And so, where are you? Where am I? We start from where we are to build spiritually, creatively, what it is that we want in our lives. And how do we do that? Well, the other principle that's really applicable spiritually that permaculture has is the idea and understanding that we need to work with the soil and build the soil and build it in natural ways and put back into it nutrients so that we're constantly feeding that which feeds us. Well, the same is true here in spiritual circles, is that we need to constantly be developing the soil of our mind and our hearts, really enriching it and bringing it forward in that richness so that when the seeds of truth fall into that soil, they have this rich, nutritious place to grow and develop in us. And so I want to tell you a parable and then I'll end. This parable is from the master teacher Jesus, but I suspect that it actually comes from his tradition of Judaism. And it's a beautiful parable. It's one of my favorites. It's called the parable of the sower. And you can find it in several of the Gospels. I'm reading from Matthew 13. Don't you love feeling like you can understand the Bible? So the same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat beside the sea. And great crowds gathered about him so that he got into a boat and sat there. And the whole crowd stood on the beach. And he told them many things in parables, saying, a sower went out to sow. Now remember, in that day and in that time, a sower was someone that had a sack that was across their chest like this, and it was a deep sack. And in the sack were the seeds. And so what the sower would do is reach into the sack, pull out the seeds, and then broadcast them through the field. And as he sowed, some seeds fell along the path, and the birds came and devoured them. Other seeds fell on rocky ground, where they had not much soil, and immediately they sprang up. But when the sun rose, they were scorched, and since they had not root, they withered away. Other seeds fell upon thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. And other seeds fell on good soil and brought forth grain, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. He who has ears, let him hear. Now, if you go on in Matthew, you'll get this interesting explanation of what Jesus meant that I don't think is what Jesus meant. That's just my opinion. And so you can read that part and see what you think. I think it was added later. But what I think was being shared was about this need in spiritual terms to really cultivate the ground of our being so that as the beautiful rain of truth comes our way, the seeds of truth fall into the rich ground of our being and have the opportunity to not be choked out by the thorns, the worries of the world. They are not falling on the undeveloped parts of our nature that would have us believe in scarcity and lack. They're not falling in places where they have no ability to take root, but instead we've developed ourselves to the point of being that we can take in the truth, nurture it, and use it to work with the habitual energies that might drive us in directions that we really don't want to live from. So my friends, I'm going to do a prayer to close and leave you with that question, what do I want to give myself to? And this prayer is for generosity and abundance. Please join me in it, and then we'll have a few announcements. I come into the consciousness of the one mind and the one heart that I understand is beating and living in me and all things. This one is wisdom beyond measure. This one is love without ending. And the wisdom and love that it is resident within me, resident within everybody listening. I turn to that wisdom now, examining the ways that I can open heart and mind to the abundant love and the abundance of all life that is available always to me. As I open my heart to examining that, a flood of generosity fills me, and I am able to give from that endless well of the divine out into my own creation of life without feeling exhausted or tired or used up in any way. There is no burnout in the divine. And so I live from this generativity of love and wisdom that is constantly flowing in me and through me and as me. And as I do this and offer what I am into the world, give what I have to give, there is a tremendous cycle of abundance and generosity that I set in motion that goes out from me and supports the world in so many ways. And as the world is supported, so too am I, in ways known and unexpected. And I'm so grateful for that support that I can give and that I receive with great gratitude. And so it is. All right, my friends, I want to tell you a couple of things that are happening here at our center. And I want to ask you to hang in because we have a video we're going to try to share. You may remember that a couple weeks ago we didn't have a lot of success with that, but we want to show you a video about one of the classes that's being offered. So hang in with me for a moment. And I'll just tell you that today starts a first Sunday tradition that we're going to take through the pandemic and maybe beyond. And that is that our practitioners and our board members have generously offered to conduct a Zoom discussion group after my talk on the first Sunday of the month. And it will be an opportunity for you to talk about some of the points that you heard me speaking about today, to reflect and to hear other people's reflection. So if you would like to join that discussion group, there is a Zoom link, and the discussion begins at noon. It will go for about an hour or so. We don't really know. This is our first one, so it's kind of an experiment. So be gentle with our practitioners and our board members as they also learn to navigate how to do this. If you need the Zoom link, at this point, I would encourage you to email info@csl-bellingham.org and ask for that link so that you have it, and feel free to join at noon. Looks like we'll be done in plenty of time for you to do that. We also have our men's group meeting via Zoom next Sunday. So if you would like to join that, you can contact Philip, the practitioner of our day today, and his email is philintexas@gmail.com, and he'll send you the link for the Zoom meeting of the men. Our Sacred Women's Circle, which typically meets on the second Friday of every month, this month, January, we're meeting on the third Friday. So heads up, women, we'd love to have you be there and be a part of our Women's Circle. It meets from 6 to 8 on Friday, and it'll be the third Friday, January 15th this month. Love to have you. Did I say that the Men's Circle starts at noon next Sunday? If I didn't, now you know. We also have something starting up this year that's very special. For the next 6 months, our practitioner crew is going to be presenting the fundamentals of the science of mind philosophy in a very interactive way. So they're using Zoom as a way of interacting with you, and they're going to be offering the teachings that are really the core of our spiritual path. And that's going to be happening the third Sunday of every month for the next 6 months. So the first one coming up is going to be on January 17th. These will go from noon to 1:30. You are welcome to bring your lunch if you need to and be a part of this. They're offering this absolutely free of charge. We'd love you to be a part of it and learn some of the basic tools that certainly for me have changed my life. So that's the 17th. And don't forget that we have these wonderful offerings by the practitioners. We have the start of your morning prayers, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. via Zoom. We have evening gratitudes happening, and that starts at 8:45, Monday through Friday, p.m. And then midweek, we have a midweek meditation that's guided, and it's at 7 p.m. All of the Zoom links are available to you, I believe, on our website. And if you can't find them, please email the office and we'll get them to you. Right now, we're going to try a video that's going to teach you a little bit about a class that we're beginning to offer this month. One of my practitioners who's deeply steeped in Prosperity Plus is going to be offering this wonderful class, and it starts Saturday, January 9th. So it's this Saturday at 10 a.m. by Zoom, and it's a class that is facilitated by Joanne Ellison that has to do with principles of visioning and the law of circulation that are being taught by Mary Morrissey. So we want to show you a little clip with Mary. Let's see if we can do that. And thank you to our sound tech.
Hi, I'm Mary Morrissey, author of 2 best-selling books, No Less Than Greatness and Building Your Field of Dreams, which became a PBS special. I'm also the creator of the Prosperity Plus programs. I created Prosperity Plus
It's working.
so that we could gather together and do an experiment, and a 7-week experiment in living a life that's harmonious with the invisible laws that govern the visible results we call our own. These are ancient laws. They're invisible to our 5 senses, and yet they govern all the results that we call our own. Now, people all throughout millennia have studied how to experience greater freedom, greater flow. 5,000 years from Hinduism down through all of the different religious trainings and teachings, New Thought itself, science, psychology, discovering how can we live a life that we truly love living while we're living it. There are ways that we can partner with the infinite side of our nature. Prosperity Plus 3 is a dynamic tithing experiment with your life through proven, reliable, repeatable systems of transformation that actually engage the power in you through simple, highly effective tools each week that open your life to a greater experience of what I call full spectrum wealth. You don't just have wealth in one area and bankruptcy in another, where you're wealthy in money and have bankruptcy in relationships, or you're wealthy perhaps in health, but not in relationships. You want a full spectrum wealth, a wealth that opens you up to a life you truly love living. And here, Prosperity Plus 3 is where you're going to engage in this experiment with these ancient laws through a simple, easy to practice way of being. Over the course of 7 weeks, you'll engage with other members of your community. You'll have a weekly class. There'll be a facilitator or one of your ministers who will lead you through it. It's actually a very fun experiment in living. And so this is your invitation to actually do an experiment, to actually have these next 7 weeks after the class begins become one of the most transformative eras of your life, and it'll be with you forever. You learn how to live from a vision, not just have a vision or have a dream, but actually the science of building that dream right into your results, how you harness and work with these invisible laws. You're going to study transformational material each week. It's very engaging. It's actually fun. And week by week, you'll be given simple but highly effective tools that you can employ that week. So Prosperity Plus members report all kinds of increases in their life, increases in their income, surprise support coming their way, new businesses, books get written, relationships get found, all kinds of surprise support. I highly encourage you to give yourself the gift of what your center or your church is offering you. Prosperity Plus 3 is a 7-week experiment in abundant living, and it includes all the support materials that come with the class. But most of all, just for a moment here, 7 weeks are going to come and go. But if you invest a little bit of time each week for 7 weeks, you'll look back on this being one of the best investments you've ever made in your growth, in your dreams, in your life. There is a pattern through which success occurs. It operates in harmony with the invisible laws that govern our results. And if you just keep breathing, you are going to have results, not maybe, absolutely. But what will those results be? They'll occur either by default, the same pattern governing our lives, or they'll occur by design. And in Prosperity Plus 3, you're going to learn how to design your inner life with an outer life that you absolutely love living. Prosperity Plus 3 is created for the person who really wants to go deeper spiritually and then have a life that has greater, freer, fuller expression by means of the relationship with the infinite side of your nature. And I invite you to give yourself this gift and say yes to your community who is offering Prosperity Plus 3, an experiment in greater living.
think about taking this class and sign up for it right away so that we can make sure that you have access to the materials you need for the class. You can contact the office, info@csl-bellingham.org, to sign up for the class. We'd love you to be a part of it. And now, to conclude our service, we have some wonderful music by Amber Darlin.
All right, well, what a lovely service we had today. Thanks for being here again, and we look forward to seeing you all again soon. All I love is all around me. Around me there is love, like a sea of open water, and the trees that rise above. I know that I am worthy of the gifts that love can bring. All I love is all around me. Love is everything. All I love is all around me. All around me there is love. Lifts me up if I let it, especially when I give it up. There is no limit to its magic, so I raise my voice and sing. All I love is all around me. Love is everything. All I love is all around me. Love is everything. Sing, love is everything. Love is everything. Love is everything. You all have a blessed week, and we'll see you again soon.